Hello, y'all. This is my I don't know, I guess I'll call this well, it's gonna be like, it has like beef stew meat, cut up squash and zucchini, and some rotini pasta. And I put a little bit, like maybe, I guess it might be like a little bit of mozzarella cheese at the end. So this is marinated with some Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning and Worcestershire sauce, or Worcestershire sauce, however your dog gonna pronounce it, but it tastes just good. So I had this marinated, and I'm about to add some water and then cook it on a crock pot on low. And well, I have confidence that this won't be nasty. I think it'll be good. So I also added, at the last minute, I added like 2 heaping tablespoons of coconut oil in it. And I guess you can say I may have added like 2.5 or 3 cups of water. And I forgot to mention that this, hopefully, if this turns out to taste good, then this will be my first recipe for my next cookbook, my first crock pot recipe for the next cookbook. Well, this cooked way quicker than I thought and what I expected. I put the temperature on low on the crock pot, and well, I guess after I did the video, I checked the food, and the pasta turned to mush, but flavor-wise, it tastes good. But I'm wondering if some of the zucchini or squash seem like, I'm not sure if it's undercooked in certain areas, but I think it's fine. I'm not sure. But I'm laughing. This come out was way quicker than I thought. I'm still learning and experimenting with the crock pot, but if it was a regular stove, it would have come out much better. So here's the squash and zucchini. Maybe the coconut oil probably did help it cook way faster. So I guess I'll eat now. Oh, and I forgot. At the end, I added some that lasted a little bit of mozzarella cheese as well. My phone keep freezing on me. At the end, I added a little bit of mozzarella cheese. Okay, so I tried the recipe. Well, it cooked way faster than I thought. And something new I learned today, that if spaghetti or pasta is overcooked enough, this rotini right here, if it's overcooked enough, then it can actually turn to seem similar to dumplings. All right, well, I didn't know that. So I'm still learning and experimenting with the crock pot. I've been cooking on the stove for years, and the cooking is kind of different. So if this was a regular stove, it would have came out different. You know, if I would have probably cooked the pasta separate from everything else, the outcome would have been different. So I gotta, practice how to better cook with the crock pot. So y'all don't be hard on me and judge me. I recently came from being homeless for a few years, haven't had that much cooking, and so now I'm trying to work with this crock pot. But I hope to get it together. So flavor-wise, it turned out to be really, really good because I used some of this and some of this, and I marinated the meat and put it in the freezer. Like after rinsing the meat off, then I marinated and put it in the freezer for a few days. And yeah, so the pasta had the consistency of like if you would have had like chicken and dumplings, like mush. But flavor-wise, it's still good, and I got lots of leftovers. Now I'm gonna put it. I don't know if I put it in the freezer or the fridge, but I guess I'll eat that for the next few days. So but yeah, if I had like a regular stove and a regular oven, everything would have been simpler and much better. But I'm still like watching YouTube videos of, people be like, oh, well, here's this dump and go pasta recipe where you can just dump everything in a crock pot and put it on low for 8 hours and then go to sleep and then wake up and your meal is done. And that meal be turning out looking so perfect. But like, but my stuff cooked in like 3 hours. About 3 hours it cooked, and I had it on low and it cooked in 3 hours. And overcooked. Well, the vegetables were kind of undercooked and still crunchy, but the pasta was severely overcooked. But the meat was okay. It was tender, but not overly tender. But it was tender. It wasn't tough. So, still got a meal.